I think. Hello, everyone. We are back again with a power-packed podcast that educates SEO community about guest posting. And today we are going to talk about how to get maximum approvals when you send in a request for guest post and put minimum effort to do the same. And as usual, we have today with us Senthil, who will enlighten us with his knowledge about guest posts. So, hey, Senthil.
Hey Harun, hey everyone. Glad to be back here.
Thanks. So, Senthil, now, yes, a lot of people have started guest posting, but one, major area that they may be struggling is to get approvals from websites or the editors. Okay, it's a major challenge. So, can you please help us and the SEO community to get maximum approvals from these editors by putting minimum efforts? What would you do in this scenario?
Sure, Harun. So, first of all, the basic thing when it comes to guest posting is that it's not about you. The first thing to remember is that any great guest post, it shouldn't be talking about your business or your products or your service. It should be a valuable source, source of information. So what the bloggers or what the website do is they don't want people, obviously they have their own advertisement, they have all sort of advertisement, plugins and all the things. They don't want people to make use of their blog section to promote their products. So what they usually do is they don't like promotional type of content. So that's why when we are approaching these sites, it should be more like a pitch where we pitch them clearly about what type of topic we are going to cover and how much of value it's going to generate to their audience. Don't talk about links, don't talk about the payments, just directly talk about the value that you're going to give to them through your content. And these kind of things naturally will involve a conversation. So don't go head on in the first mail itself, putting in everything into one go. Hey, let's do link building. I'll give you links. You give me a link back, or pitching them like how much is the cost. All these things are big turnoffs for webmasters, because every day they'll be receiving thousands of such emails. So the best thing to do is to avoid that route and try to strike a conversation with the webmaster. I'm pretty sure that will have a higher hit rate. At Stan Ventures, we have done that. I mean, we've been doing this for the last 10 years. And over 100,000 bloggers have connected with us through this route. And the reason why they prefer to blog when Stan Ventures work with them, it's because the quality of content that's been given to them, they all like it. So that's one of the reasons why the team has been able to successfully get a better response rate compared to anybody else in the industry.
Great. So I completely agree with you on this. So it is primarily relationship building that we're talking about here than trying to pitch for our link. So that's exactly true in any scenario for that matter. Right. Okay, so is there any shortcut that you use, any tools that you can recommend to the community, that can make these things faster?
Yeah, sure, Harun. So it can begin with a deep dive on the competitors and looking at from using Ahrefs or using SEMrush. So you can even use Ubersuggest. Just try to figure out from where these sites are getting links from and whether these sites are accepting guest posts. A quicker way to do that is to filter it out in the URL. Something like, I mean, most of the people don't add a tag as guest post. But probably what they do is that they might be adding an author tag along with a post. So a quick hack is to do a laser search on Google on those sites and try to see if they have any authors or they have any guest posts, because people are refraining from using the word guest posts on their site. So the shortcut to overcome that is to search by author, or you can even search by guidelines or submission guidelines. So these kind of keywords, thereby it will try to pop out in the search itself. We'll be able to figure out what type of sites are accepting the guest post. And then all you have to do is just read through the guidelines and then create a plan of action. Like for each and every site, the guidelines will be different. So based on those guidelines, some sites you have to just pitch the topics. Some sites you have to give them your previous work, or you have to even, some sites you might have to even send them a draft and their editor will decide whether they are going to take it up or not. So there's quite a lot of, each site have their own style of accepting it. All you have to do is do some research, figure out what type of, what the editors, what type of posts are being accepted. and then you can go ahead and pitch. So the starting point for any campaign will be deep diving on the competitor data, rather than the usually what other people will tell you is that to search for guest post and the niche name in Google.
Yes.
That will more or less only show you the sites which are explicitly posting like guest post, submit guest post, and all those things. Those are like you should typically avoid them. Directly go for sites which are like giving an author bio and they're posting the blogs. So that is much more direct, and there is a high chance of getting referral traffic from those kind of sites.
Okay, great. So I think by doing this, like the tools that you've mentioned, Ahrefs and SEMrush, we will be able to build a very good inventory, even if we take backlinks of competitors, the top 5 competitors, and then build an inventory. Reach out to those bloggers itself initially, and the second way that you mentioned is by going through the author bio example. And I think people will have a great inventory to start with if they just follow these simple steps.
That's right. Yes.
Great. So the next process in guest posting, what comes is the pitch. So I know that there are a lot of pitches available. There are many templates that are available. Do you really think these templates work?
Well, I would tell you a quick example, Harun. If you are a webmaster, I'm pretty sure, you'll agree that, every day you get bombarded with thousands of emails, and most of them are same templates all over again and again. So the moment you see hi webmaster or dear sir, dear madam, it's just a turn off for the editors. They just simply point blank. They don't even read your post. So the main thing is that the title, the email subject, that is more critical, and the first line, how you introduce yourself, that is very, very critical. If you're just simply copy pasting a template, webmasters can easily find out that you just copy pasted a template. Simply saying things like your website is great, it's been getting a lot of this thing, a lot of traction, a lot of traffic you're getting. Just simply, we have to just cut to the chase. We don't have to give them a lot of general stuff and then trying to pitch, because webmasters are already aware of what you're trying to do. So cut to the chase, go directly to the point. What you liked about the site, what do you think the audience might enjoy reading more about the topic. Maybe do some even more better analysis. So at Stan Ventures, what we usually do is, for example, if we are building or maybe if we are trying to reach out for our own website, so usually Stan Ventures ranks for some of the competitive keywords like, for example, Google algorithm updates. If you do that, Stan Ventures blogs always rank at the top. Next comes the Moz and the search engine land. So what we usually do is we'll give them a reference saying that, see, we are already ranking and these are the type of content which we have posted or we have written before. And this is the amount of analytics, this is the type of traffic we're getting. And we feel this is in sync with your site, where you're also getting a similar traffic or similar audience. And we'll be able to blog about these topics which we feel are getting even more traction. So if you're giving a data-driven kind of a pitch, definitely webmasters will love it. For example, you can run that site, a particular website, same on SEMrush or same on Ahrefs, and you can pick up what are the top performing guest posts that by the webmaster he has done already, right?
Okay,
and you pick up what type of keywords those guest posts have ranked, and you can yourself come up with a projection, right? These type of posts have performed well in your website. And I believe that this topic, whatever topic you are pitching, you can say these topics are aimed at these kind of keywords, because these keywords you are not able to rank at the top, but the competition has written a better content about it. And I believe that this content could even give you higher chance of ranking. So go in line of how much traffic a webmaster can gain because of a guest post. Don't think about, just post it, I'll get a link, you get some dollars. It's not about it. Give them the value, show them how much of traffic potential that this post has. That is the key. This is where majority of the people lose out, and this is exactly how we are able to get the big inventory. I mean, probably we have the biggest inventory in the world. Majority of the SEO agencies buy links only from us, buy guest posts only from us. The simple reason is that we have done the hard work and we are continuing doing that hard work. Because whatever I've told you, it's a process and it needs hard work to be done. It's not like simply you can just run it using a tool. So that's where the effort comes in, and we've been perfecting it for a while. So these are some of the learnings which we can share with the community.
Great. So I'm sure not many SEO ninjas out there are following the processed approach. They're just copying and pasting the template, which I agree with you. If I'm a webmaster, would just ignore the email itself. But if I approach the way you said, the natural approach by showing, what we have done and what we can provide value to the website, like you said, by researching their website, find out what keywords are ranking, and then give them the way forward. Yes, definitely, people would look forward for that valuable content on their website.
Yes.
That's an amazing insight, Senthil. Okay, so I'm sure everybody will love that. And guys, I guarantee you, if you implement this, I have seen myself what we implement in Stan Ventures, we get more than 45% approval rate by simply following the process, just what Senthil has just mentioned. Okay. Now, Senthil, the next question that everyone will have is, it requires a lot of effort for us to pitch and create the content, do the research and everything. But how do we avoid these rejections? So after you've put in all the effort and imagine a content gets rejected, it will be a very big disappointment for anybody. Yes. So how do we make sure that our content is not rejected at this stage after we've put in all the effort?
Absolutely. So that's a very good question, Harun. So in fact, we have seen quite a bit of such things happening to us as well before, but we have learned from those mistakes. So what really happens is that, when you are promising something to the webmaster in the topic, and then when you're giving him a content, first of all, we need to ensure that we are not giving him a sales copy, right? So what majority of the people do is they write a blog, but they try to put in voluntarily their products, try to promote their services. This is like a really turn off, because they don't want a sales copy to be presented to their audience, right?
Yes.
So you have to give a really quality content which helps their website. That's it. Second thing is, it should be about the niche which they're talking about. So if it is going to be a niche which is related to fashion, or maybe if you deep dive on it, if it's going to be like probably, let's take hair oil. So for that hair oil, if you go and start pitching for completely something else, then it becomes a problem. So that's when, that audience mismatch happens, and usually the webmasters or the editors, they reject such content. So there's two major things, Harun. One is that we should ensure the quality content is being given. I know that quality is a over abused word these days, but the real fact is that by quality, what I mean is that don't send a sales copy, just send a real post, a real blog with zero promotions. It should appear more naturally. And the second most important point is ensure that the content makes sense for the audience who are going to read that blog. Because the reason why these 2 points are critical is because we shouldn't be doing guest posting for the sake of guest posting. There should be some kind of a referral traffic coming to our website.
Yes.
And that is what those kind of traffic will definitely have higher volumes. So we have consistently seen, we've worked with hundreds and thousands of clients. So there is one thing which I see commonly is that we always, as SEOs, we'll be looking at organic traffic. What is the thing happening? What is the conversion happening? But there is one thing which always does is that the referral traffic always gets higher conversion rates because of the quality. And because if, for example, the same like how we were discussing few episodes back, the influencers, right? If the influencers tell something and you're going, there's a high chance that you're going to buy it.
Correct.
So same way, if a particular website covers about a particular topic, and then if the people have read it, they like you, and then only they are going to click on that link and come to your website. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother about clicking any link.
Yes.
Right? So that means they are qualified already. They know about you, they like your content, and now they are ready to buy something from you. So that's the reason why the quality of content is very, very critical. So ensure that the sales copy is not there. You're trying to help the community, and ensure that the niche is also it's quite makes sense for the people to read it and follow you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Senthil. So I really appreciate that, the information that you have given to us. Yes, value is something that is being missed out by many people who are trying to pitch out in guest post industry. So what people have assumption is that it's just the content that Google is looking for, or the website or webmaster is looking for, and you have broken that myth today by saying it is actually the value by giving good examples like the influencer example that you gave us today and also in the previous podcast. Okay. Now, there are some people who show credibility. Would that work? So, for example, if I have to pitch to a very high authoritative site, so I also mention what are my previous guest posts and how they've been helping the other website owners. So, would that also help us, or would that also help us in getting more approvals?
Absolutely, Tarun. Absolutely, because when you are showing that your previous content has already performed for somebody else, and if possible, if you can pull out some stats from SEMrush or Ahrefs or Ubersuggest, then obviously it's going to even more better because you're not only pitching some topic, you're also improving your credibility by saying that your content has previously performed well, not necessarily for your own website, but maybe for some other website that you don't own, because
Okay.
this particular website that you're pitching for is also you don't own it. So the webmaster, we need to put him in a situation, the editor should think that yes, this guy has done something in another site and it has worked well, and also show them like what type of keywords those articles have ranked and what type of traffic that website is getting. So that gives a clear idea of these to the editors that the content which you're giving, it's actually going to benefit them by getting them some good traffic. If you're able to do that, then definitely your the percentage of acceptance will be very, very high.
Yes, definitely, Santhil. I agree with that. So yeah, these are the things that I think most of the people can use and get maximum approvals by putting minimum effort in their guest post outreach program. Thank you, Santhil, for participating in this podcast and giving us this valuable information. We are planning more podcasts which are very specific to guest posts, and we would love to hear more and more from you, from your experience, and I hope to hear from you again.
Thank you so much, Arun. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this podcast. As always, we are looking forward to receiving your comments, about the questions that you might have that we could cover in the next podcasts. Kindly support us and look forward to meet you guys in the next podcast. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sandeep. Bye-bye.